What's up, everyone? I have with me Brett Whitman from Spear Factor, and he's got a whole bunch of his homemade floats.
Ghetto floats.
Ghetto floats. Ghetto floats that work.
That work.
And it's awesome because we have Brett here. He's going to talk about a little bit how he's designed these ones, how you can design one at home, where you can get the materials, and kind of go into some of the stories of what fish you've caught with them. So,
yeah.
Welcome to Cast and Spear. Appreciate this.
Thanks, John.
Yeah, let's talk about this first one.
All right, so this one isn't really quite as unique as the others, but this is just a basic lobster float. The foam is a little bit more rigid than most lobster floats, but you can get this type of like bullet float at any marine store, and I think it's relatively cheap. I think it's just like a few bucks for the floats. But the thing that I like about it is you got like basically 7 pounds of buoyancy in each one. So it's about 21 pounds of buoyancy right there. But if you take it, and you see this piece of PVC pipe, 1/4 inch PVC pipe. It's probably right here. You're seeing right here.
Oh yeah.
That PVC pipe, and you just hammer the floats on there. It gives it rigid. It makes them rigid. And it's just a little bit easier to deal with in the water. And then I overkill everything. That's just kind of how I do everything. And I take Spectra. This is like 8,000 pound Spectra.
Oh wow.
And I run the Spectra through it. And then I just tie basic knots. Like you can tie, doesn't really matter. You can tie a half hitch right here once you put the washers on so that the line won't get pulled through. And then you tie a half hitch, then you can tie your line. So I just did basically an overhand knot, and then on this one I just kept it simple because obviously I taped and burned it, so it was a little bit of overkill, but I'm not planning on really taking down big fish with this, but I could use it as a lead float for like big tuna. But again, this whole thing probably out of the PVC pipe, you might be able to see a little bit right there, PVC pipe in the middle. This whole thing literally cost me maybe 30 bucks to make. And it's 20 pounds positive, but it's a great lead float and it won't crush at depth because it's post-cell foam. It's a little bit harder than usual. So the fish can take this down pretty good. And that's the thing I like about it is it's a good lead float and it's not gonna crush. Kind of what led to me making all these floats was I've shot some bigger tuna and I lost like the tuna of my dreams because the inflatable float just collapsed and was gone.
Interesting.
And I've talked to some guys in Panama and they use 50 pound balsa wood, like 50 pound positive balsa wood, and they fiberglass over it. What they do is the fish, the big tuna, the big yellowfin they shoot, they take it down to like 200 meters, 250 meters. It won't crush. And it doesn't put a ton of drag on the fish that cause it to rip out. So they get a lot less rip outs and tear outs, and the fish gets tired. He said the longest it's been down, I think, was like 5 minutes.
Wow.
And then it pops out. So like 40 or 50 pounds positive. And I started thinking about that with our bluefin and trying that. And so far, so good. So this is this guy. It's good for yellowtail or just anything around the kelp sea bass if you want, but mainly yellowtail for patty hopping, smaller grade fish. Even if it does take it down, it'll always pop back up, hopefully, for the most part.
Perfect. So let's get into a bigger float.
Okay, so this is the real ghetto one. Not quite. This is like it's a little bit ghetto.
Yeah.
Again, this is like pretty hard foam. These are 18 pounds positive each float. You can see just a piece of PVC, like 1/4 inch piece of PVC. Run it through the middle right there. That's actually a 1/2 inch PVC. Run it through the middle, and then again, like, it doesn't have to be Spectra. It doesn't have to be 8,000 pounds. It's just kind of nice to have thicker line so that if you need to grab it, it's not going to tear your hands. So I try to use just line that I know and I can get easy, which happens to be this stuff. So again, overhand knot to stop and a stainless steel washer. And it's the same setup, and this one has a tuna clip on there. It's like, this is probably just under 40 pounds positive. Yeah, it works. If you combine these two floats together, the two Ghetto Floats, it makes one super ghetto system that works.
Right.
So you've got basically, 20 pounds and then 40 pounds. So you got 60 pounds of float, and that's pretty good. And the big thing is it won't crush. So these things can go down. I mean, these are a little bit harder than these guys, but it'll last. You'll get positive buoyancy far past any inflatable float. So that's kind of why I do it. Now, traveling with these floats is a different story. I definitely would stick with an inflatable if I was traveling. But the good thing with these is this one will fit in your sport tube, no problem. Because I've done it, and it's kind of nice. So the granddaddy of Ghetto Floats that I've got is coming right up. And
it's heavy.
Oh, this is the grandson. This isn't even granddaddy. This is the okay, so there's a lot of theories of this guy. So this guy weighs, it's kind of heavy, it's closed cell foam. And I'll give you like the link to that or whatever you need to go buy closed cell foam. So what you do is you get a PVC pipe, basically, and like a 4-inch PVC pipe or a 6-inch, whatever you want. You mix up your closed cell foam and you pour it in that pipe. But on the other end is what I did is I took and I taped the funnel on the end of the PVC pipe. And then I set it up right and I poured the two parts in. I mixed it all up and then I poured the 2 parts foam in, and of course it rises up. And then I went and cut it out of the PVC pipe. Now what you can do rather than cutting it out is just spray like cooking oil or whatever like thing you want before you pour it, and then pour it in there, and then you should be able to push it out. But I did that, and as you see, there's the PVC pipe in there. So you have your PVC pipe. Again, it's like 4-inch PVC pipe, whatever. Put your funnel on there, and then I take a 1/4-inch PVC pipe and I put it in the middle through the funnel. And then again, I taped everything shut so that PVC pipe now is stuck in there. And then I poured it. And again, you pour it, it blows up quite a bit. And remember, this is 8-pound closed cell foam. So it's fairly buoyant. It's about 30 pounds buoyant, but it will not crush. Like, it could go down to 300 meters and it's not going to crush. I use this as my lead float for like tuna sometimes. And I use this little link here. I like using links sometimes rather than tuna clips because tuna clips can straighten out and they're kind of hard to deal with. Or I'll put a tuna clip on here and I'll just use the clip into the float line as I try to get the fish back. But I like these because I know these aren't going to fail at all.
And you have some heat shrink?
I have heat shrink on there because the heat shrink allows me to get a good grip on it with gloves on. And even with wet hands, it still sticks and I can still get it on and off if I need to. But when you get wet hands or tired hands and sometimes it gets stuck, it's hard to get it off. But that extra heat shrink just makes a bigger diameter. There's a little more leverage on the So again, this one's like 30 pounds positive and will not crush. This is ghetto homemade stuff that works better than half the shit out there, I swear. You just might be a little embarrassed rolling up to your buddy's boat with it, but whatever. Originally, I put a rubberized like bed liner on it to like make it more durable, but then it just looked like a big black, So, like, my buddies were giving me shit about that. So I thought it'd be easier, more visible if I spray painted it like roadside orange, so I could see it in the water.
Now it's a big Crayola.
Yeah, and so when I cut it out, you can see like a scratch where I cut it out when I screwed it up. But yeah, now it's a giant Crayola. But the point is, again, it works. The closed cell foam, I think I got it for maybe around $50. Maybe a little more. But I got a couple pours out of it, like quite a bit of pours out of it. So like a certain float, like a blue water float might cost $300 or $400. This blue water float that you can make will probably cost you $100 for like 2 of them.
worth.
So it's like, and that's more money you can put on gas in your boat to like go get fish. Again, like my whole thing is like the least amount of money I can spend on stuff just allows me to go get actual fish.
Do what you actually want to.
Yeah, so that's good, and it helps you know your equipment that much more. If you know the ins and outs of your gear, you're gonna know how to fix it, and you're also gonna know how to prep your stuff.
Do you want to show the big Mambo?
I do. Yeah, this guy.
This thing's a little crazy.
So this is my dog stopper float, I call it. It weighs about 15 pounds, but it's actually light as a feather in the water. I'm probably gonna kill a small child bringing it over here, but. So.
And it definitely looks again like a Crayola.
It looks like a Crayola or a large penis. Yeah. So this guy, again, you can see I did multiple pours with this thing. Again, this is my first time I've ever done this. And that was 3 years ago. And I've caught bluefin and dogtooth all on this float.
Really?
Yeah. It's 90 pounds buoyant. So it's kind of similar to any blue water float out there. And it is
not gonna crush.
Not gonna crush. So what I found is you can use one float, put a shaft through a fish and let it do its thing and really wear it out. Even if it's a 400-pound tuna, you're never gonna lose the fish of your dreams because it's not gonna crush in the blue water. And it's big enough to where you just need one. So how I made this guy was I went and got like a 9-inch, I think it was 9 or 8-inch PVC pipe at Home Depot. They sell it in like, I think it was like 4-foot sections. And again, that was like 20 bucks, I think maybe. And then the closed cell foam, and I'll give you the link for that as well. Closed cell foam, and then I took my daughter's sand bucket, like beach bucket, as you can see, here it is. And I taped it on the, like duct taped it against the PVC pipe, and then ran like 1/2-inch or 1/4-inch PVC pipe through the whole thing and drilled out the bottom of the little bucket and stuck it through there and then just taped it off. And then mixed up the batch, and when I poured it, I made sure to pour it all the way through and not into the PVC pipe at all. And it, blows up, it hardened quick, and then cut it out. And now you have this thing, run some line through it, and now it's a blue water float that is never gonna fail. And it feels light in the water, even though it's 15 pounds.
That's impressive.
And it's literally like, it's ghetto as shit. It looks ridiculous. It's a great conversation piece, but it works, and it will save you like hundreds compared to one of the top good floats out there. Look, this isn't like these other floats are bad, but this float is probably 1/3 of the price and won't fail. It can't. It's closed off on.
Right.
And I have 8,000 pound line. So
it's not going anywhere.
no. The only thing that's gonna fail is probably this thing, if this was gonna fail, which is why I kind of throw an extra link on there as well.
Well, there you have it. If you enjoyed this, definitely give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Let me know if you're going to be making your own floats. We'll probably be putting up a how-to guide in the future. Also check out Brett's Spear Factor. That's spearfactor.com. And he's also got a podcast, and he's going to be doing some videos as well. And I hope he shows how-tos for all of his homemade gear, so you guys can make it yourself, or maybe we'll make one together in the future.
That'd be awesome. Redneck spearfishing at its finest, for sure.
All right, guys.
All right.
Take care.